Welcome to another FiddleHed fiddle lesson. I'm now going to show you how to use the pinky finger, otherwise known as the fourth finger. It's kind of the weakest finger, but very useful. One thing it's useful for is if you're on the E string, it allows you to hit this note, which is used in a lot of music that you wouldn't otherwise be able to hit unless you moved up the neck to a higher position. So that note is called B. So we'll be learning that. We'll also learn how to use fourth on the other strings. So if we play it on the A, it's sort of an option. It's sort of to playing the open E. It's an alternative, I should say, to playing open E. You could play fourth on A. It's the same note. But listen how the tone is different to fourth on A. And then open E. Kind of like a little bit just warmer tone when you use the fourth finger. Plus, the fourth finger, if you have it really well in tune on the A, the open E will resonate with it. So you'll get this kind of nice rich sound. So it has a different tone. That's one use for it on the other strings. And in some situations it'll be easier to go to the fourth instead of up to the open E. Like, say if you wanted to trill from 3 to these two notes. You use the fourth, you can kind of do it, but if you want to do it to open E, it's kind of hard. So it's a very useful thing. We're going to get started with having you walk up to the third finger on the E. From there, reach your fourth, and you want it to be about that far. You want it to be curved, roughly like the other fingers, but it's going to be flatter than the other. But still, it's got a little bit of curvature. See if you can see that. It's still kind of landing on the tip. It's the hardest finger, I think, to learn. It's the weakest, and also it needs to be more flexible. So a common pitfall with the third finger is that it'll drag the other fingers sharp. So watch out for that. Let's start by doing third twice to fourth twice. Good. If you get solid with that, well, you may need to take a break because learning the fourth can be a strain on your hand. Shake out your hand. Do it again, 3 to 4, and then the next thing you can do is walk up to 4. Find different ways to walk up and down. Use patterns. Slur. Slur 4. Whatever you want to do, make the practice interesting. Okay, then you could eventually do that on the other strings. It'll be a little bit harder on the A string. You've got to reach around more. You'll have to pull your elbow in a little bit, and it's just a harder string. D is harder still for fourth, and G is the hardest. Alright? So I recommend really doing it a lot on the E first. I'm now going to show you how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the E string, and I guess it'll be in the key of E, and you'll need to use your fourth finger. So I'm basically giving you this as kind of a handy way to practice fourth finger. So the tune, I usually teach the tune on D, like this. You've already learned it that way, which you probably should know before doing this video, but anyway, at the point where we go 2 on D to open A, well, there's where we would use fourth finger. So let's do it on Mary Had a Little Lamb on the E string. There's where it happens. So we could really begin our practice of this tune by going 2 to 4. That little bit from the tune. Just do that a whole lot. And now what I'm going to do is, it's a simple enough tune. I think if you're this far along in your fiddling, you'll be able to just pick it up if I play it slowly. So hold on a sec, let me get my trusty tambourine out. Okay, and I'm going to count you in. You can play it slowly with me, and then you can just rewind and practice along with me. 1, 2, 3, and go. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So you can do that on all 4 strings. And so on. D and G as well. So that'll really get you going on the 4th finger. The next thing I'll show you is using the 4th finger alongside low 2nd finger, which is kind of a challenging thing. So for instance, let's go to the E string, open, 1, low 2, 3, 4. It'll feel different, and that 4 will really tend to drag the low 2 sharp, so this is worth practicing with patterns and so on. All the stuff you did before. You may want to practice low 2 to 4 a little bit. And while you're at it, practice 1 to 4. And open to 4. And then you can make a great kind of composite exercise by doing 3 to 4, low 2 to 4, 1 to 4, open. Let's do it all again, no talking. Try to pause the video and practice that. It's very difficult if you're starting 4th, so you may have to go backwards and just do like single intervals, like 3 to 4, low 2 to 4 or something. Alright, but it's a great exercise. You can add patterns to that, just like anything. Fiddle with it. Make it interesting and fun while you practice. So I think we're closing this video out with Twinkle Little Star. Some people love it, some people hate it. But I'm going to show it to you because I think it's a really just good basic tune. Most people know it, and it'll help you practice this, the 4th finger on the E with the low 2. So I usually show the tune in D, on D string to A. I have a beginner video for that if you want to watch that and learn that. But if you're already advanced enough, you probably can just pick this up, what I'm going to show you now. And so we're going to do it in the same key, but we're going to start 3rd finger on A, which is D, so we're still in the key of D. And here's that first bit. To 3 on A, to 4. Here's that again. This is an important piece. Followed by. So that's roughly all the pieces to this tune. I'm now going to count you in, and you can play along. If you don't know the tune yet, you may want to just listen and watch the first time and then rewind and play along. 1, 2, 3, 4. that's that. And of course you can start it on the D string, third finger on the D, or third finger on the G. That'll be good practice. Finally, the last thing, very last thing I want to give you in this video is starting to work with the fourth finger on the A string. I want you to walk up to the fourth finger there and then play the fourth finger twice and then open E twice. If it's out of tune, you'll really hear it. There it is. So this will really help you develop a way to hear the fourth finger. And then you could just kind of walk up and then open E and do that exercise. Okay, and you can do variations on that. You can walk up and down, just as long as you play fourth and open E. Then you can do the same thing with on D. Make up your own exercises. Okay, well that's it for the fourth finger lesson on the fiddle. Thank you for watching and for subscribing to FiddleHed. And well, we'll see you next time. Let me know how it goes if you have any questions or anything. So long.
Thanks for watching the video.
Excellent!